Why immigration law? I think I've kind of walked us there, but hopefully you can see that my journey, my professional journey, my personal journey with the various experiences that I've had, and those things that I've grown to care deeply about, those have sort of ushered me into a place where I feel like this area of work, this profession, this vocation, is a place where I can pour myself and the things that I care deeply about into. I also know that it's a privilege, and I think that that's a piece that, we work through, that you're all here at a university. You have access to this amazing privilege of attending school and going to classes all day and learning and listening and thinking about big ideas. I know that there are others across the world your same age who will never have that opportunity. So what will you do with that privilege? That's a responsibility, I think, that you have, and I carry that. I know that when I talk with clients every day, I know that access to a legal education was an incredible privilege, and that the ability to do something that I care deeply about is also an incredible privilege. And so those are things that are also a responsibility. And then, of course, as I've talked about, for me, the work that I do is satisfying, it's challenging. Honestly, this last year and a half, 2 years, it's been more challenging than I really ever wanted it to be. And certainly there are times, once a week or so, that I think I'd like to pour a cup of coffee at Starbucks. That's really good. I think that would be a great job for me. I think I'd do that well. It's too hot or too cold. I could manage that. So there are definitely days where I feel like it's too hard, it's too challenging. But again, kind of back to that privilege. I have the privilege of doing work I care about, and so I'm going to stay with it, even when it is so challenging. So I have a whole list of resources. If you're interested in immigration law, this is something you think you might want to dabble in, or you want to learn more. Here, this One America, this is a real time, in a couple weeks, you could volunteer for a citizenship day. These are so fun. So fun. They're in Seattle, October 27th and November 17th. Hundreds of people come through these clinics to apply to become U.S. citizens. It is, for people who, like I said, I've worked with some people for 10 years, this is the dream. They've been working so hard for this to become a U.S. citizen. So it is the happiest of days. It's so fun. And I would definitely recommend volunteering. Lots of students volunteer. If you know another language, you can actually be paired with somebody who's applying for citizenship, and you can journey through the whole day with them, which is really fun. So you can act as an interpreter. If you don't speak a language other than English, then there are lots of other things you can do. You can put information into forms, you can help screening. There are lots of things you can do. So One America, they have citizenship days twice a year, at least every year. So if it doesn't work out this year, just file it away for the future. Refugee Women's Alliance, these are all just organizations in this city that do great work. I know these organizations well. They all do great work, and they all support immigrants. And you don't have to be an immigration lawyer. Some of these things are, after school programs for kids. These are, driving somebody to an appointment, or, there are lots of different ways. And actually, most of these Catholic Community Services, for sure, and CARE, these two for sure have a volunteer website. So you can shop for what you're interested in and send an application. So that I was going to just share a little bit about the Immigration and Nationality Act, but I think we don't have time. And I wanted to walk you through this other quick activity. Can I just do one activity really fast? Okay. So this is the Immigration and Nationality Act. We have visas, just to this is super basic, but there are visas, and you need to have a visa in order to be able to permitted entry into the United States. Everybody has to have a visa to enter. Student visa, tourist visa, immigrant visa, worker visa, any type of visa. Congress determined that 470,000 people every year should get an immigrant visa. That means a visa that you can immigrate and live here in the US. And Congress in 1986, and not since then, voted on how many people, groups, how many visas go to each group of people. So there are 4 categories, like broad categories: family, employment, refugee, and diversity. Diversity visas are, we have less than 3% of our population that is from X country, so we're going to give some visas to that country. It's a diversity visa. So you cannot get a diversity visa if you're from India or Mexico. There are lots of people here from some countries, so we're not offering diversity visas to those countries right now. Okay, so 1 minute with somebody beside you, what percentage of that number would you give to those 4 categories? Just talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm going to pull us all together just because we have, I think, 1 minute. So just raise your hand if you would give the largest percentage of those visas to family members of people who are currently living in the US. Okay, raise your hand if you would give the largest number or percentage of that number to people who are coming here for work. Okay, and what about people who are refugees? Look at you all. And then for diversity visas, what if you give the largest percentage? Okay, this is what Congress actually decided to do in 1986. So actually Congress decided to give 226,000 visas every year to people who currently have family in the US, and you can petition, but not for every family member, just for siblings, spouses, or parents, not grandparents, not aunts and uncles, not cousins, and children. Children are included. Employment-based visas, 140,000 a year. And refugees, we're really, these executive orders are kind of moving that number down. It used to be 110, then it went down to 50,000, and we just learned yesterday that next year it's going to be 30,000. So that number is going down every single year. And then diversity visas are remaining at 50,000 a year.